The sun hadn't yet risen over the small town of Millhaven, but in a cluttered garage, a single light bulb hummed to life. Its glow fell on Leo, a man in his late 40s, standing before a blank canvas. A year ago, the dream of becoming a painter felt like a ship that had sailed long ago, lost in the fog of a stable accounting job and the relentless tide of daily life. But a single, quiet thought had taken root. What if I just tried? Not to be great, but just to try. That first day, his victory was microscopic. He spent 20 minutes after dinner, not painting, but just organizing his space. He cleared a shelf and unearthed an old easel. The step was so small it felt almost silly. But he did it. The next day, he committed to just 15 minutes. He mixed two colors, ultramarine blue and titanium white, and watched them bleed into each other, creating a dozen shades of sky. It was peaceful. The day after, he sketched the coffee mug on his desk. The lines were shaky, the perspective was off, but he didn't throw it away. He dated the corner and put it in a folder. Leo established a ritual. Every weekday, he would rise an hour earlier. No grand declarations, no marathon weekend sessions that left him frustrated, just 60 minutes, from 5:30 to 6:30 a.m., in the garage, some days. The step was purely mental, reading a chapter on color theory. Other days, it was practical, learning how to properly clean a brush. He painted simple things, a pear on the windowsill, the way dawnlight striped the garage floor. Most results were underwhelming, but the folder of dated papers grew thicker. These small steps began to compound in invisible ways, as I started to see the world differently. He noticed how the afternoon sun gilded edges of leaves, how the gray of a storm cloud was never just gray, but a symphony of violets and blues. His hand grew steadier. The connection between what he saw and what his brush could do became less tenuous. He didn't notice the transformation happening, the way you don't notice a seedling growing each day. 6 months in, his wife, Maria, peeked into the garage. "You're always out here," she said, a smile in her voice. "Can I see?" hesitantly. Leo showed her his latest work, a study of her garden roses. It was still clumsy, but it was alive with a passion that had been missing before. "Leo," she whispered. "There's joy in this." Encouraged, his small steps gained a new dimension. He created an anonymous online gallery, posting one picture a week for accountability. A handful of people found it. A stranger from another continent commented, "The light in your morning kitchen piece feels warm. It reminds me of home." That single comment, a tiny victory in itself, fueled him for weeks. The true test came after 10 months. The Millhaven Annual Arts Fair was announced. The thought of submitting a piece was terrifying. The voice of doubt roared, "You're an accountant, not an artist." They'll laugh, but his ritual of small steps had built a counterweight. He had a folder full of proof of effort, of learning, of tiny victories. He didn't aim for the featured gallery. He simply followed his process. For 2 weeks, his morning sessions were dedicated to one larger canvas, a view from his childhood fishing spot. He submitted it, the largest and most vulnerable step he'd taken yet, and tried to forget about it. On the day of the fair, he and Maria walked through the crowded town square. He steered them toward the community display wall for local amateur artists. His heart hammered against his ribs. And then he saw it. His painting was not just hung, it was in the center. A small red ribbon was affixed to the frame, honorable mention, a most evocative landscape. He stood there, frozen. The victory wasn't just in the ribbon, though it was sweet. The real victory was in the journey. It was in the hundreds of pre-dawn hours, the countless mixed colors, the shaky sketches, the disciplined ritual. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.